There's multiple reasons why I think it's important to incorporate healthy habits when we decide to get sober. It's not about just putting the plug in the jug or stopping using your drug of choice. If it were that easy, everybody would be doing it. In this video, I want to give you 5 things that I believe are extremely important when it comes to getting sober, and it's best that we implement these things from the very beginning rather than trying to play catch up later. Enjoy this video. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video. My name is Tom Conrad. I'm a certified addictions counselor in the state of Florida. I'm in sunny South Florida and I work at a facility called Rock Recovery Center. My primary purpose with this channel is to help you turn your mess into your message. We all are probably in some sort of mess. The first thing that I want to discuss, which is very important for me, it's something that we incorporate with all of our clients here at Rock Recovery Center, is working out. Yes, working out, fitness in some capacity. We believe it is extremely important. There are many studies that support this. It helps with overall mood, sleep, so many things. The first thing that I always tell people when they're incorporating fitness or working out into their recovery program per se is start off small. This isn't something that we want to just jump right into and hit the gym 2-3 hours a day, 7 days a week. If we do that, we ensure that we're going to burn out and it's not something that is sustainable. So I encourage people, start off small. Pick something that you enjoy. I personally don't care what it is, so as long as it's not sitting on the couch eating ice cream. This could be strength training, it could be yoga, it could be martial arts, swimming, whatever you choose, so as long as it's something that you enjoy doing and you can see yourself doing for the foreseeable future. Something else that I think is very important is to have some sort of schedule. I don't care if you have pen and paper, write it down, incorporate when you're gonna work out, be intentional about this. And you can do it in your phone. There's obviously tons of apps that you can download. You can do it right in Google Calendar, right in Apple, whatever you choose to do. Just have a schedule and stick to it as best as you can. Another thing that is very important is have rest days. Doing what I do and working with the population that I work with, young adults primarily, when they get sober, they're gung-ho about working out and they want to just hit the ground running and go to the gym, like I said, 7 days a week, couple hours at a time. It's crazy. You can't do that. Schedule yourself in 2, maybe 3 rest days. Make sure you utilize those too. And on those rest days, again, it's not just about sitting on the couch and watching Netflix all day. Go for a few walks throughout the day. Go for a swim, something, but make sure that you're intentional about scheduling your rest days because that gives your body an opportunity to recuperate from the stress that you put it under while you were in the gym. The second thing that I want to incorporate when I'm getting sober is obviously have an emphasis on nutrition. Nutrition is very important. What we put into our body, food-wise, drink-wise, is going to directly affect how we feel the next day, the following day, so on and so forth. So I try and encourage people to obviously limit the amount of processed foods that we put into our body. I get it. DiGiorno pizza tastes very good. Ben & Jerry's tastes very good. Nutrition plays a big role in our energy levels. The more whole foods that I eat, the more energy that I have throughout the day. And what I eat today is going to directly affect how I feel tomorrow. And what I eat tomorrow is going to directly affect how I feel the next day, which is why I instruct and try and encourage our clients and anybody that I'm in contact with getting sober for the first time, really try and hone in on the foods that you're putting into your body and also what liquids we consume. We're not going to go to Starbucks and get the most sugary drinks that they have available. I drink black coffee. I like black coffee. It works for me. It's 0 calorie for the most part. And it gives me the energy that I need without all the added sugar and all the added other junk that they put inside of these coffee drinks. And it saves you a ton of money. Some of these Starbucks drinks, I can't even believe it. $6, $7, $8 for one drink. Nuts. All right, so the third thing that I want to shed light on is sleep and the importance of sleep when getting sober. A lot of times, people utilize drugs and alcohol to help them sleep. Crazy, but it's what we do. I did it for myself for many, many, many years. I recommend shooting for anywhere from 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Quality sleep, though. There's a difference between quality sleep and just the quantity of sleep. So how can we ensure that we're getting 7, 8 hours of quality sleep at night? Well, it starts well before we even go to bed. And so I recommend to people, limit your screen time. Again, some people will struggle with this more than others. Most will struggle with this. I recommend try and have no screen time for at least 1 hour before you go to bed. So if you know you want to go to bed at 10 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, no screens, no television, no scrolling on Instagram or whatever you may do, Facebook, Twitter, none of that for 1 hour before you go to sleep. Now, if that is something that you hear and you're like, Tom, there's no possible way that I'd be able to do this, there is something that you can do. They're called blue light blocking glasses. You can get them, just go on Amazon, you can get them all over the place. And what that does is it blocks out the blue light that your screens would produce. Put them on, and if you got to be on your computer or your phone for work or whatever the reason is, or you want to binge out on your favorite Netflix series, which I tend to do, throw them on because it helps. And it's super low barrier of entry. They're like 10, 15 bucks on Amazon. Get you a pair, put them on 1 hour before you go to sleep. Try and go to bed at a reasonable time. And when I say a reasonable time, think about when you want to wake up the next day. I personally like to get up somewhere between 6, 6:30. Now, I have 3 kids, so I generally get up whenever they get up. But knowing that, I try and be asleep between 10 and 11 o'clock. I haven't used an alarm clock in years. Reason is because my body knows when to get up. When it's had enough rest, I wake up. So I really try to encourage people, go to bed early enough and let your body get the rest that it needs throughout the night, and it will wake up naturally. 2 more things on sleep. 1, limit your caffeine intake. Again, people getting sober, it is very common that we pound energy drinks, pound coffee, all the meetings that we go to, they have coffee. Even if a meeting is at 10 o'clock at night, definitely they're gonna have a coffee pot there. Nothing wrong with that. But if you wanna ante up your sobriety, limit your caffeine intake to maybe 100 to 200 milligrams of caffeine per day, which is equivalent to 2, maybe 3 cups of coffee per day. And the last thing on sleep is reading. A lot of times people, when they get in bed, rather than watching Netflix or HBO Max, pick up a book. For me, when I was getting sober very early on, I found very quickly that when I read, I get sleepy very fast. I'm not a huge reader. I like listening to podcasts and I like listening to audiobooks, but reading for me makes me tired, and there's oftentimes, if I read, I will wake up an hour later with the book just laying on my chest, and I'm asleep. So, if you struggle with falling asleep, pick up a book and just start reading. Which leads me into the 4th thing that I always recommend is reading education. When we get sober, we want to be able to achieve certain things. We have goals for ourselves. We have things that we want to accomplish in life, whether it be career-wise, family-wise, anything of the sorts. And reading is a big help with that. Anything is good to read. Just pick up a book. Fiction, nonfiction, self-improvement, self-help, Whatever the case is, pick up a book and read. I personally like listening to audiobooks. I like listening to podcasts, and I'm always listening to things that I know are going to help me get to where I want to be, whether it be business-wise, whether it be family and relationships, those sorts of things. I generally listen to audiobooks and podcasts that revolve around those topics. And the last thing that I'm going to share with you that has been super important for me is networking, building relationships with other people. I think this is one of the most important things that we can do for our sobriety. Reason is because you show me your friends and I will show you your future. I didn't come up with that. I heard it somewhere else and I took it. But it is so true. Now, this is something that we, for some, have to be more intentional about. It's not easy for some people to just walk into a room and mingle with everybody. We have to be intentional about it. We have to actively go and talk to people, and that's okay. But the action of doing it, it will get easier over time, I promise you. I set a goal for myself. I try and meet and greet at least 1 to 2 people per day, new, that I've never met before, people that I genuinely want to know more about, or I just want to build some sort of friendship or relationship with. So I've set that goal for myself. Maybe for you it's 1 or 2 people a week, whatever the case is. And it can even just be a, hey, hi, how are you today? Or blah, 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 blah. Just strike up some sort of conversation with these people, and you never know the relationships that you can build with people and how that helps you in your sobriety. So I hope these 5 things help, and like I said, if you incorporate these into your sobriety, I promise you that it will make things a lot easier for you getting sober. Thank you for watching this. I really hope that you try and incorporate all 5 of these. If you manage to do 1, 2, or 3 of them, great. But ultimately, try and do all 5. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, if you do incorporate these things, it will help you in your sobriety journey. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about your specific situation or a loved one of yours, you can always reach out to me, tom@realrecoverytalk.com and ben@realrecoverytalk.com as well. Thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. And don't forget, turn your mess into your message. Please, you have to do it. People need your experience, strength, and